Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host Indie Comics Jones. Today is June 16th, 2022. This is episode 512, I believe that's what we're at here. Today we're taking a look at Draculina. This is Vampirella's evil sister. This is issue number 3, coming in at a whopping $3.99, I believe. Okay, $3.99. This is cover B. I thought these were all the cover A's, but once again, I've gotten a cover that I didn't really ask for. I'm asking for just the normal ones. This comes out from Dynamite. It's rated T for Teen Plus, and we get a pretty nice shot here of Draculina. She actually dresses quite a bit like Vampirella, a little bit differently, but the suit has a strong resemblance to the original. She's a blonde versus Vampirella's dark hair, and they're alien vampires from a different world. Now, this is written by Christopher Priest. I'm really enjoying his writing. I'm not sure I understand the story completely. There's a lot of jumping around. It is a little bit complex, but the humor and the jokes in it are pretty doggone good. So I'll give it that. Let's go ahead and take a look to see who has worked on this. In fact, we can go, it's in a couple different spots in here, as you can see. There's some credits down there, but also right inside. Christopher Priest is the writer. Michael St. Maria is the artist. Ivan Nunez is this colorist. Willie Schubert is the letterer. Matt Idelson is the editor. And Colette Turner did cover A, and we, of course, did cover B. I believe that might be cover A here. And she looks pretty good there as well. Okay, so we get this diatribe about how stupid Americans are, which, honestly, I can relate to how Christopher Priest is feeling right now. People just don't know that much. You figure all the things he talks about that they don't know, I know. And I'm just figuring it's being taught to the next generation of students coming up, but apparently it's not, because it seems to be lost on everybody. Or maybe I just had a really good education, which that could be it as well. So what we have here is Katie. She is Draculina's kind of like alternative being in another universe, but she's stuck in the same universe now. However, she cannot be present at the same time Draculina can be. She needs to light a candle, and the Draculina comes back. Now, as we know, Draculina is evil in this, and this little young Katie is not. And she's been apprehended by a kind of a special, I don't know what you'd want to call it, kind of a special bureau agent that has to do with supernatural investigations, because it seems like Katie shows up at the scenes of all these murders, and I guess it kind of happens. I don't remember exactly if it happens when Draculina falls asleep or something else happens, but she's got this magic candle with her that she lights, and that brings Draculina back. Okay, and so we get these sometimes they're flashbacks, sometimes they're now, as this one is, like misspent youth. She does a little diatribe about Bart Simpson making America dumber, which I don't know if that's true. I think if anything, he makes America more fun, in my opinion. So she's goofing around on the train here they're taking, and the train gets attacked by these creatures, and we'll get to that in just a second. First, we get another not a flashback, but yeah, I guess it's a flashback. She's talking about how she ended up in New York, how Katie ended up at New York one time. And so this was a little confusing because they talk about this being book 2, 90 Hours in San Francisco, book 2. This is a third issue. So I don't know if this means that it's book 2 of this current arc. Just a little confusing there. But Draculina is biting into a judge here. She's actually able to hypnotize as well. Not only she acts like a vampire, but she's got other traits as well. So this little segment is called Mistrial. So all these little vignettes have their own title, they have their own time and place, and a lot of it's told by Katie here to this special agent. Now, the bailiff comes in and Draculina kind of entices her, as you can see here, into a lovemaking session on the spot. Very, very sexy. And then we get an ad for Vampirella Strikes. And there you go. Let's take a look at that. I think she was evil at one time and she changed her ways, if I recall. Or that might be Purgatory. I can't remember. It's one of those two. There's some covers for this Vampirella Strikes, the latest from Dynamite. Dynamite does a real good job on their covers. A lot of people just collect them for the covers, in fact. So you can see here's the bailiff again. We're back in New York. And she shoots all these people coming in under the direction of Draculina, who is looking for something. It's a special emblem, a token, something ancient. And when she finds it, it's on. For some reason, it's stamped on the gavel. She takes off, and we get this great art here. You gotta love it. So this is all told in a flashback by Katie. And now she's got this other flashback that goes way back. All it says, let's see if I can figure this out. It looks like last week, actually. I said way back. It looks like it's way back with the Sea of Tone drawing here. And this is where she meets her Uncle Geo, who explains some things to her. There's a lot going on. There's also a rat that spouts Shakespeare that appears. It's kind of like hangs out with Katie. So Uncle Geo gives her a little more backstory, and then we get to the Mouseketeer, San Francisco, the night of the crash. So I'm not quite sure how all these different little vignettes, they fit in a certain way. So it's a little confusing. It might be a little less if I was reading it issue back to back at the same day. But this evil guy shows up. His name is Belial, if I'm saying that correctly. And he wants her to light the candle, wants the mouse to light the candle. Of course, it's a burning wreck. All he has to do is put the candle in the flame, and va-boom, Draculina shows up right in the grasp of her nemesis, this Belia. And they scream back and forth a little bit. He's choking her out. She seems to be enjoying it at one point, but then losing consciousness. And then we go to Red Sitha. Something's coming out from Mirka Andolfa. Illustrated by Valentina Penty? I'm not quite sure. So I'm not sure what this Red Sitha is. If it's some kind of Red Sonja in maybe Norse garb. It's a little hard to tell. Once possessed by Exum, the spirit of the flame that possessed her, Sitha the Red has chosen to follow the path of the sword, inspired by the courage of her adopted mother, Red Sonja. So there's also Red Ninja, I think it's called, or something like that. Ninja Sonja Ninja, something. That I want to check out, but I have not seen it in the store yet. I didn't go in this week yet, so maybe it's there now. Okay, so she goes on talking about her life in this rich area, and she's still on this train, and then we get another flashback, and this is the detective now, or the agent, talking about a flashback where something happened 90 hours ago in New York, where they're going through looking at some of the stiffs there. They all have their blood drained, and they believe it is Draculina. She goes with another name in this story as her alter ego is River East, and she has a high-rise office in Bunker Hill in Los Angeles. So a lot goes on. This train gets attacked by these flaming women writers that have these special lassos. The agent doesn't seem too concerned, but Katie does. As you can see, get this action shot of them shooting guns now, and Katie bursts out, and she is stopped. She's got like this special slingshot that's shooting solar flares at these riders, but she is stopped by this new character that I'm not familiar with, that happens to bring Draculina in at the same time. I tell you, it bounces around a lot, but the dialogue's pretty good, so I have been enjoying it. I am confused, and this is a new character, Hebiad. I can't really read that. Hesiod. So apparently he's married to her, Draculina, so that might be some past story that I'm not familiar with. So next is Theogony, I guess, Reality Bites. And there you have it. This is issue 3. It is a recommend just because the writing is strong, the storytelling is strong. It's just a little bit hard to follow. Wish it was a little more linear, but can't have everything. We got the great writing, and the art's pretty good in it too. And Draculina looks pretty good. Here's the cover for the next one. I believe that's going to be cover A. I have not confirmed that though. It looks pretty doggone good. All right, you can tell this is April's issue, so I'm a little behind on stuff. Then we have Elvira in Horrorland. Ever hear of Knocking? And there's some other covers for that as well. Cassandra Peterson's obviously Elvira, the actress. We get a 2-page ad for The Boys. It's still being made. It comes out in trades and floppies, and seems to be doing pretty well. The Amazon show I really like. We get The Army of Darkness, 1979. And finally, the cover gallery for Draculina issue number 3. So we had the B cover here. This was the A cover. I have been getting this artist all the way through. This Rose Besh, I guess her name is, on the first 2. So not sure why they swapped them out there. Let's go down here. Just kind of variants of black and white and line art and that type of thing for these, from the top ones here to there, and finally these down here. Maybe not finally, there might be some exclusives on the other side. Got it? Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, there are more. There you go. The fun never stops with Dynamite. Boy, they just keep cranking out this stuff. That is something else. Okay. I think they do make their money on these variants. Okay, then an ad for Dynamite, and we are out. So it is a recommend, thanks to the strong writing of Christopher Priest. Very interesting, a lot of humor. The story, like I said, is a little hard to follow, but maybe it's easier for you. But I've had a little difficulty going back and forth through the different vignettes. Okay, so thanks for stopping by and listening to this video review of Draculina number 3. As always, please like, please subscribe if you haven't. Please leave comments, and we'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. This is Indie Comics Jones, as always, bidding you adieu.